Long day lady road. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another fun-filled, amazing episode with an amazing guest of Get to Know Your Creator. I'm Jason Bascom, and this is on his entertainment channel. Obviously, you're here, you know what it is. Determined to get these books out, determined to get funded, and high-quality, comics into your hands, if you will. It's raining a little bit here. I hope I don't lose power, and also it's hot in my room, so you'll hear my fan. My apologies. The lovely co-host is late as per usual, so she will be along shortly. But in the meantime, we have a lovely guest. We have the great Shane Best. What's going on, man?
Hey, man. Not too much. Happy to finally get on the show. I think I talked to you on and off for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Had you do some stuff for Mothman. Got you back to do some stuff for Swarm. So
yeah,
I got to be on one of your shows.
Yeah, man. Hey, well, as we were talking backstage, I just finally kind of been doing these Get to Know Your Creators. For a while, I didn't have that title, but I was still promoting for, I don't know, maybe a couple months now. I really haven't been doing them long, mainly because I even told everybody, you can promote by coming on Topic List if you want. We don't promote really, mainly because of my eyeballs. So I was like, you can talk about it if you want to come on Topic or Straw or do whatever for a little bit and kind of shill. It's not a shill stream. But I was like, I'll give it a go because people have been asking me. And we have the co-host here. What's going on, Angela?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. There you are. All right. Now, late as usual.
Did you get my message?
Yeah. Did you get mine?
No.
I said okay. It was my intense message.
Oh.
Angela, this is Shane. Shane, Angela.
Hey,
Hi,
hello.
thank you.
And we have
You? Oh.
That's gonna happen a lot. Don't worry. We're professionals. We're professionals at just interrupting each other and then just not answering questions. We do it all the time. Real quick, we got as Shelby calls them, DTF in the chat. Yeah, we got our friend, the great Boob Dan. Oh yeah, go ahead, Angela, do it. I don't know if you're ready.
Hey, I'm here. I'm ready to help.
Okay.
Dan Plato's in the house. What up, Dan?
Yeah. What's up, Plago? Everybody check
We
out
got
Capital.
black hat.
Black
I can
hat.
read. I really can. Black hat. And you know what? You can read that.
I can't read that one. I'm like,
That's what you're here for.
Hello, Black Hat.
I'm like, now I know it. I know what danger Vanessa goes through. I'm like, oh no. It should be like next to each name and you just say how you pronounce it. Anyway, Black Hat, Cinephile, if I said it wrong, I apologize.
Yeah, it's Black Hat. Yeah, you could just say Black Hat. He's a friend of the channel. He's in
Or
the chat quite often.
BHC. Yeah, hail.
BHC is in the house.
There you go.
Woohoo.
We're going to do initials here. We are also streaming onto Facebook, so if you're watching, please give this a thumbs up. And if you don't want to sit through the whole hour of what we do, go ahead and check Swarm out. Link is pinned to the top of the chat and in the description below. If you want to skip everything and just back it. So we won't be mad at you.
Cinephile, according to Citizen Ronan. Hey, Citizen
Yeah,
Ronan.
what's up, Ronan? Yeah.
CR, as you say.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing it for everyone.
Okay.
BHC and CR.
Yeah, no,
AMC.
DPBDA. That's Boo to 80s. What's going on, man? Yeah, and by the way, if you are watching now on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, share this out, please. Help get eyes on the campaign and also on this channel. And hit the subscribe button while you're here if you don't mind. Help grow the channel out. And like I said, we got Shane on. And Shane's been in the scene for a while. We like Shane. You had Mothman before this one, and Mothman was dope. Loved it. And you've been doing this for a while, though. How long have you been into comics? Like, were you wee little lad, or did you get in like in school?
Wee little lad. I didn't have like a lot of comics growing up. I was kind of like you go to Walmart's, and then they used to have like the racks, and I just kind of grabbed whatever. We didn't really have a local comic book store around here, so it went to like teenage years. I started getting some of the where I can go out and actually collect.
Mm-hmm.
And grew up. I was a little bit more DC kind of guy versus Marvel. I know a lot of people seem to be
Most
Marvel.
people were Marvel, yeah.
But I don't know, I just always like DC's like art style and just the characters just felt like superheroes. I know Marvel, they gravitate more towards they feel more like they're connected to the characters, like to a personal level. But to me, I don't know. Sometimes reading comics, I like the fact that I don't have anything in common with some of these characters. You know, they're larger than life. So I always felt that with DC.
Yeah, DC had some really dope villains, like especially Batman's Rogue Gallery is probably one of the best Rogue Gallery out of anyone.
Yeah, I think the two comic books, for me anyways, growing up, that I think has the best villain lineup would probably be Batman, and for Marvel, I'd go with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah. I mean, you can't beat Green Goblin. I mean, come on, Vulture.
There's so many characters.
You know,
I mean,
so many. Yeah, it's crazy. And
like
I've always said,
Marvel. Like growing up with like Thor, or not growing up with like I don't think Thor and Iron Man was really that great until like the movies came out, and then people kind of gravitated towards them. But like you go try to read their comics, and I'm like, where's the villains? You know, it's
well, that's the thing. Like Thor was my jam because that was my first book. Was Thor. Okay. So like I with Thor, yeah, you're right. It's not really like iconic key villains because it's Norse mythology. So those villains are already established within that, you know, that mythos. So. You know, you had all your typical villains like Loki, Midgard Serpent, you know, Surtur, you know, all these like, you know, they're already Norse mythological entities. So it wasn't like already like made up off the spur. So you don't have like a Doctor Doom or a Joker, you know, where it's just insane madness, but they're still cool creative characters. But with Thor, it was always like art usually that came with, like you got Kirby, Simonson, you know, Friends, and you know Diodato came in. I know Frege did Wolverine, but still you had some great artists on Thor for a while there. And it was a fun book. But you're right, with DC, dude, I've always said it, my favorite character to draw, bar none, Joker, without a doubt. Like yeah, he's a human being, like simple human form, but you can draw him so many different ways because he's maniacal. So like the facial
personality there,
a lot of personality, man. So we weren't always DC, but yeah, Batman without a doubt. You know what I mean? Like I never got into Superman, dude. Couldn't do it.
It took. You know what the weird thing is for me with Superman is, like growing up. You know, we had like what was it, the Justice League cartoon? Mm-hmm. I think that might have been more of a, I think late '90s when the Justice League cartoon was like a big thing. I thought he was kind of really just a boring character, but I actually didn't mind the comics versus like the cartoons. I always hate him in the cartoons for some reason. I don't know.
I always forget the studio's name, but those old Superman movies, like or cartoons, the black and white ones, I forget the studio all the time, but they're amazing. And to me, it's like the animated shows that I love the best were Batman, that Superman one, and X-Men. Like. Awesome stuff, you know, really cool, fun.
What year was the animated Superman one? The black and white? What year was that? When did that come out?
Oh, I wanted to say 40s or 50s or something like that. It's old. It's really old.
Yeah.
But it's insanely good. And I feel bad because Pedro and Matt and you know Plagal and all of them, they all keep telling me the name and I keep forgetting it every single time. But I love him, so you know.
Now, did he fly in those old ones, or is it still like the leaping bound thing? Like
he would leap over the top, but he would still fly. But you'd see, you know, able to leap a single building, you know, bingo, single bound, and they would show him leaping over it, you know. But he was still flying it. Yeah, he was still flying them. But those are really cool, man. And like that's the thing. Like a lot of people did get introduced to comics, at least as a kid, like in our age group, because of like X-Men and like the cartoons.
Oh, X-Men! Yeah, that was the thing. X-Men cartoon. That was like Saturday mornings, you know, when we had to like get up and watch it.
Yeah, dude, if you ask anybody, like if you mention, hey, you know, start talking about the X-Men anime, people just automatically go like they automatically do it. Like even if you never collected comics in our age though, you watch that cartoon and you know theme song.
I watched it every day.
Comic book related things to follow as a kid. If you can't get the comics, you had the cartoon. You can at least tune in each week. And actually, you know, I think after a while that became a afternoon cartoon even. Like we can catch it, you know, weekly.
Right. Yeah, and you could.
And Spider-Man.
Spider-Man animation. Fletcher. Oh, here I go again.
Fletcher Animation. That's it. Fletcher Animation. Thank you very much, Plagal. See, I'll forget it in about 20 minutes. But yeah, look those up, man. They're really good. Oh yeah, so you mainly just like would stop pick up comics at Walmart maybe, and then later on you were actually like you had probably had a job, and so you're like paper up whatever it may be, and
Yeah.
went and got your comics at the comic shop,
Good old
right?
KFC. That was my first
Oh, yours was KFC.
first
Nice.
job. KFC.
Yeah, mine was a
I was
dishwasher.
spending my chicken money on comic books.
That's right,
and
man.
CDs.
That's right. Yeah, mine was a dishwasher at a restaurant up the road where we
Oh.
lived. So yeah, 14 years old, I'd ride my bike to work or walk because it was literally right up the road. So, but yeah, spent whatever money I had. Dude, I even worked in the comic shop for a while. This was when I was older, but I worked in the comic shop as a second job. He would just pay me in comics because I had a job. So it was great. That's why my collection actually got pretty decent. So yeah.
That's where my collection went.
Oh.
I don't know if you knew this or not, but me and John Ball actually had a comic book store.
Oh, I didn't know
to
that.
get it started, we actually we put all of our 80s Transformers, Turtles toys, all of our comics. I mean, I had like the original, first appearances of a lot of stuff. But we for the good of the business, we had to get started. We didn't want to take a loan out. I was like, if I can just do this without taking a loan and owing anybody something,
Right.
the
better, yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
some of that stuff doesn't hold as much value in me the older I get. But
Right.
so
And
that's
would-
where my collection went.
was it because of the crash of the industry like that, or like because everything went bankrupt almost and head over heels? Was that why it kind of went out, or do you still have the business? What happened?
The way I always see it is, me and John, we've known each other since high school, and so we're talking like early 2001
Yeah.
kind of days, and we always wanted to be creators, but it wasn't like today where we had like where you can just send submissions out through emails and do all this FaceTime with everybody and all this. I don't know if you ever applied back in the day. It was a grind.
Mm-hmm.
You if you wanted to apply to DC or Marvel or Image, you had to fill out a bunch of paperwork, send out the submissions.
Yep.
You literally wait about 6 months to get results back from your submissions. You usually get like a letter. Me and John, we had like piles of letters.
Yeah.
We go to the conventions. Wait in line to meet Jim Lee. I have pictures of John like holding up like old artwork, to Jim Lee, and Jim Lee looking it over and giving us
That's cool.
hints.
Yeah.
But it was a slow process, very slow.
Yep.
Trying to get your name out there. And I think we both sit at the point where, well, if we can't become creators, we still wanted to stay in the field, right? So
Right.
we opened up a comic book store, and it was fun, but I think me and Joe's hearts were still creator mode.
Right.
Wow.
It's nice being around the audience that consumes the stuff, but when you want to be a creator, it's that's just where our hearts lied. And he started back on Death. I mean, he's been rough drafting that since
Yeah.
probably
It's amazing.
2015 or so. And he would sit there in the shop and actually jotting down stuff. And actually that's where Swarm came from. We actually started a team book back in the day. I think we had a group of like 8 superheroes, and we had a whole like league of villains, and started doing that. It got kind of scratched, and I just revisited because like Swarm was one of the characters I created, and he's more like a robotic mechanical thing back in the day.
Mhm.
So I've tweaked and messed with it, and that's that's where the story goes with the shop. Is it was fun, but we wanted to be creators, so we shut it
Right.
down and got back into the creative mode. He went more towards comics. I kind of went more towards the writing style because I'm a writer. So I
Mhm.
started writing chapter books, like kind of like Goosebumps. I mean, 90s kid, 80s kid.
Yeah.
So I grew up Goosebumps. So I started writing chapter books. Got a couple of them self-published. Started doing conventions.
Nice.
And a couple years. I mean, what about? It's about two years ago when John's like, hey, why don't you give the comic book thing a try again? He's one that introduced me to Comicsgate, and brought me in that circle. And
Yeah, it is always interesting hearing how people first got into whether it be Comicsgate, indie comics, the crowdfunding scene, so to speak. 'Cause not everybody I
Yeah.
hang out with is CG, and that's
Yeah,
fine,
same.
everybody. So CG is just an idea to us. Like we came in kind of kind of like sophomore year. You know what I mean? Like we're not like the seniors who they worked in the industry and like they were like, you know what, we're getting politically abused, we're getting shunned out, we're getting chased out, we're getting canceled. We're gonna do it ourselves. Screw you guys. We were more of the people who we never worked in the big time, but we have the passion for comics. We've seen the industry crumble. We've seen like things getting put out that just are garbage. Like just even if you're not, dude, I don't know about you, I am not politically aware at all. I am terrible at politics.
I don't have
Horrible.
the time. I
don't have the time.
I watch the shows and like me and John will talk because he really wants to start up a channel and stuff. I'm just kind of a goofball, man. I love writing. I work full time. I don't know. I don't have, maybe I just don't have the brain capacity to sit there and like just follow so much of this new stuff and then try
It's a lot.
My thing, to me, it'd be more of an act for me. I get that people are into it and they like it, but I feel like if I did it, it'd be more of an act. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'll be just trying to like rehash something that everybody else is doing better than me anyways.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I just have fun and go on people's channels. Do the work,
Politics
Well,
are stressful. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, so I can't.
It's
do
a
political stuff
lot.
too much.
It's a lot to handle. And so like we see so like we read the books and we're like, this is just not right. This is kind of crap, actually.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And the other problem is there's some really good artists still out there that are working in the industry and they need that paycheck. There's some high, so that's kind of why I don't know about you, but that's why I still actually buy even mainstream stuff. Now I hardly ever read anything. I mainly flip through it, look at the pretty pictures, and call it a day. Yeah, I might be missing out on some good stories. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's still some good writers out there too, and editors and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody's like just woke or SJW
I don't
or
worry
whatever.
too much of the new Marvel stuff. I do have the app, so I've been reading like I'm gonna go back through and reading Civil War, like the whole.
Oh,
complete
nice, yeah.
thing, like all in between. So it's like over 100
Well,
comics. I've been going back and reading some of that stuff.
And that's the thing.
I
Most of
gotta-
us are buying older or reading older stuff because that's the best stuff. Like that's really good stuff. Yeah. You got to
And
what?
I got Shonen Jump, which is anime,
nice.
like manga. So I do read manga.
What's up, Eric? Man? Yeah, well, see, this is the thing. And once again, people are very apprehensive and just like, oh, manga's taking over everything. I'm like, you know what? It is still comics, though, and I understand it's just not Western comics, but there's still quality out there. We shouldn't just turn it away because it's been an overtaking thing.
I don't really think it's taking over because really, okay, the thing is too for me personally with manga, I like it, but once you start really getting into it, there's not that many different storytelling going on. A lot of times it's like, here's a group of teenagers battling something that's demonic. That's about
Fun.
every single thing.
But fun, yeah.
It's fun, but it's not like they're coming up with the most clever stuff all the time.
Right.
But
and I get it with like even Western comics on a monthly book. Like it's hard to keep original and make a banger every book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of us got sick of the insanely long story arcs of like 2-year story arcs or whatever. We got to buy every book. You miss one, you're missing everything. Stuff like that. So it with like a single issue, banging out one single issue or even two, making them amazing every single time. A little rough. I understand.
yeah.
ACC. ACC
What's
in
up,
the house.
ACC? Yeah, good to see you, ACC.
And
Like and
Eric
subscribe.
DeGuapo says, if I can get it to show, through the internet. Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
You can
I'm
do
getting
it. You got it.
Come on,
Did you want me to read it? I can
you
read
got
it.
this. Oh, you
No,
want
she's
me to
gotta
read it?
find
I was going to show. Manga is good, and there are so many good Western comics out there too, in both
Yeah.
the indie and the mainstream.
And
I
that's
don't know if
true.
I've come across indie like manga yet. I don't know how to get that.
I think it just means independent books themselves, like Western independent books.
Oh, okay.
Are good too. Yeah. And I mean, and that's like, to me, CG is an independent. We're independent creators. We're an independent. We just have a label over it, and saying that
That's
this is
the
an
hard
idea.
thing is to
Yeah.
get past the label of every individual. I mean, that's kind of like people's attacking point with CG. I think
Well,
is like something will come out in the media with whoever the creators are that it surrounds, and then they just kind of point fingers at everybody. Like they try to group everybody. And there's a lot of individual thinking in CG.
Well,
it's a movement of creators and fan base. So you're going to get different
True.
personalities, different viewpoints.
Well, and that brings me back to like us were the sophomores. You know what I mean? Like we have a
Yeah.
different concept and idea of what this group or scene or movement is meaning. Like for us, it's more or less of fun comics for the fans. Making quality books at a good. It might be a little expensive in a way, but it's worth it because of the quality that's there. We're putting everything into it. We're usually doing it all on our own. And like the seniors are doing that too, but they
I
also
found
have
out the
that
hard way
movement,
on
the
this
political way.
round.
Oh, dude, it's
I wanted to do a complete project before I launched. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take a whole year and just buckle down and do it myself, financially.
Right.
Which I know it's not. I know it's kind of a weird tactic because I don't. You don't want to get shunned upon because like people's like, why would I back a book that's complete? It took a lot of money to get there. you know.
Well, like we did something a little similar. Like as far as like we didn't do the whole book. Maybe like obviously Ink and I are working on Frog ourselves, but like we prepaid for the art. Like before funding, we prepaid for the variant artists. We prepaid for the card artists. Like we spent all of our own money on that. You know what I mean? So, but people were like, oh, like you were just saying, why crowdfund it then? Because it's really not like a crowdfund. It is because you have to recoup those expenses. So it's the same concept. You're just putting the work in ahead of time, and you're still taking a giant risk on top of it. Because if it doesn't get funded, you're out. You're taking
exactly.
a hit.
That's why I set mine to like 3K, and it's not so much of needing the 3K to get something done. But me and you both know how much all this costs to get done. So like just 3K alone is going to be enough to get the books to the people.
Right.
That's the shipping and the mailers and all that stuff and getting.
And on top of all that, taking the time to write the book, taking the time to letter it, taking the time to go out and promote it, because you're taking time away from your family and everything else by sitting here. So it's a job. It's a full-on job on top of your job that you probably work or other people do work. So like we're not doing this full time, which might make it a little easier. I'm not saying it is, but it still would help out if this was just our gig, our job, our thing. Like it would be
nice.
It'd be a
dream.
little stress off. Yeah. But hey man, the people that do it full time, like this is their job, they put in the work. You know what I mean? I'm not downplaying what they do in the slightest. Like they grind it, and it's a labor. But here's the thing. It's work, but it's not, because we love doing it. All of us love doing it in the scene. So, like, there are times whenever maybe we might be like, this is insanely stressful. I don't know if I could keep it up. Then there's other days where like, man, I'm hanging out with Dan Fraga. I'm hanging out with Andy Smith. I'm hanging out with
you got to be
Aaron
a motivated
Lopresti.
person.
It's like, and it's insane. And you're like, this is a job? This ain't a job. This is like hanging out with creative people and having a good time. Like, I'm drawing and writing for a living.
Like I say, me and you come from a generation, like I say, that like, this stuff wasn't as easily accessible to communicate with people.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's leaps and bounds, of no matter how big or small your campaign is, how much it makes, like the fact that you're getting out there, people's viewing it, it's so much easier than spending a lot of money. Like I say, like I spent, I have my things at 3K. Now, if this was back in the day, 3K would get me a trip to a convention, a booth, maybe enough copies to get there, and then you're trying to pull people to the booth. And you know how hard that is at a convention.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, especially today's standards, because today it's all about celebrities. So you're competing against celebrity,
status,
photo ops. That's $100 and meet and greets.
Right.
So us indie guys, this is where our community is. This is where we have to, focus that on and. This is our future.
Yeah.
So it can be stressful, but it's a lot easier and to maintain this kind of audience. Through this route.
Yeah.
What was that, Angela?
No, I was just saying, I see Aaron Lopresti. I mean, people go to see him specifically at cons. He even says that seeing on streams is the new Comic Con in some regards, because you have that personal one-on-one with fans, and I don't know. And you do get to share your book and so forth. So.
Yeah, and it's a 24-hour comic convention is what this YouTube thing that we're like Ethan and your boy and all of them, Malin, they kind of launched it in a way. Like I'm sure plenty of other artists were doing it ahead of time, but they kind of changed the game, I think. Mainly because I'm the one I'm watching those guys. I'm not watching everybody. It's impossible.
It's hard to watch everybody.
It's a little difficult to watch
everybody.
everybody.
Like 40 different channels, and like it's so hard for me. I work nights too, so like everybody's shows are at night, so I never really get to see them.
Was K-pop saying?
The entire reason I go to cons hard to meet the artists and find the weird in these.
Yeah,
So,
I also like
makes
going to
sense.
cons for in hopes of getting original art or even a commission.
Yeah.
Maybe I love signatures. I don't. I'm not one who flips signed books usually because there's sentimental attachment for those. Like I'll go to a comic shop, buy like a $100 book and maybe grade and flip that because there's nothing there for me. But if I'm going to a con, it's an experience. I have an attachment. I have I'm there with the artist or family and friends and we're having a good time and I bought this thing and that memory is there. So I really don't want to sell that. I don't want to sell the memory.
Yeah.
So that's why we hoard them. You know what I mean? So yeah, but this is it's like a 24-hour con, and you can like you Shane's here. You can ask him any question you want now, and you don't have to worry about waiting for a convention to be like, hey, I love your stuff, or even you can ask, hey, if I send you something, you have a PO box, would you sign it? Like you could do that right now, and it's amazing. You otherwise before all this even happened, you'd have to wait. Is he going to be at a convention coming by? When is the next convention? Oh, he
Yeah.
lives in like across the country. I'm never going to see the dude. Like I'm a huge Wayshack fan. I might never see the guy. I have original art because I bought it online, but I want to meet the dude. You know what I mean? So it'd be cool to it's cool to meet Shane in person, but you still don't have to
Yeah.
wait. You could be like, hey, there's this thing. He's got a book. Oh, I could actually ask him questions about his book right here. I don't have to wait for a con. So
It's
it's a
funny.
24-hour convention.
There was actual in my algorithm an old when he was with DC. There was a draw. Like he was at a convention doing a live drawing of something, and people were in the audience, and I just kind of laughed because that's what we do all the time. Like they do a draw
Mhm.
stream now, and they could get, the number of people probably in that audience, maybe 100.
Yeah.
Don't tell them I said that. Maybe there were more. But like a live stream, like could quadruple that by
Yep.
doing your draw stream. So it's
Yeah,
cool.
people could. And Shane, you just said you're on the morning roast with Chris.
Chris and Snow.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. Like people can sub to that channel. I don't know if King Toad has its own YouTube, right?
Yeah, I got my own. I just kind of just throw stuff on there. Like I said,
Yeah, I couldn't find
my
it. I
weak
was
point
trying
is
to-
definitely YouTube.
How
Yeah.
dare?
Oh,
6480
what's up, Called There?
in the house. Hello, how there?
Speaking
if
of
anyone-
conventions, there is one coming up next month.
Is
I
there?
think.
Where is it?
Yeah, it's in Ohio. Yeah, me and Joe will be there.
Are you in Ohio too, Shane?
I'm in Ohio, and yeah,
What part of Ohio are you from?
close to like Cincinnati. I'm between like Cincinnati and Columbus.
Oh, yeah. I lived in Cincinnati for almost 10 years, so I love that area.
Young Bengals.
Yeah.
Where's that?
2 days.
Where's that convention at?
I'll have to look it up. It's I think it's in Cincy.
Does,
JB John Ball just was talking to me last night about getting not a booth but a hotel. We're going to probably go up there for the weekend.
Do you know if
I think the Diaz
D-
brothers might be coming down as well.
DM? Can you DM
Yeah,
me
they were.
that? Because
Yeah.
I never get to go to conventions, so.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's some, but maybe if they're even a booth, maybe I'll try to get a booth. So.
That was
Yeah.
did they go to this one last year? Because I think that was the one where it was Anna met William Shatner in that Star Wars Story
Yes, I think it's the same one.
Squirrel. Yeah, no. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. If you could, I'll remind you to DM me the
Yeah,
thing after
definitely.
the stream. But yeah, like I love going to cons. I have signed books. I have Jim Lee books. I have Frege signed stuff. I got a lot because we traveled all over the Mid East or Midwest, whatever we live in Ohio. Going to cons when we were younger. Funny thing is, like I sent them out to get CBCS or whatever verified because back then you couldn't do it just so I could preserve them. And my books came in, but the guy said a couple had they couldn't verify a couple of the signatures. Like, man, I was there in person. I'm like, I know those are real. I'm like, I'm never
Yeah,
gonna
take a
flip
picture
them.
with them.
Yeah, I should have. Or you know what I could do?
Cool.
I think it's the Capullo ones. So what I could always do is take a photo of them and send them to him on Twitter. Be like, dude, let me know you sign. I remember you signing these. I don't want to sell them.
Who's your favorite person that you met?
Oh, probably. Oh wow, it's honestly I never met him, but Liefeld was really good. My brother met him, so everybody bashes Liefeld a lot, and he gets a lot of bad rep, but he was insanely nice to my brother, and he didn't have to be. He was like my brother was supposed to meet Stan Lee. That happened. Blah blah blah. But the convention asked him, hey, do you want to meet Rob Liefeld? And he was like, yeah, Rob Liefeld was not even supposed to meet the dude, didn't even know about it. And they pulled him behind the booth, the image signing booth, and Liefeld took his time, went over my brother's artwork and stuff. Really nice. So to this day, I didn't meet him. We met him because of signing books, but he's probably like the one that I would say. Jim Lee was real nice because I had a bunch of books. You had a limit, obviously. You only get like 3 or 4 books signed. And my brother had a stack for me to sign and stuff like that. And we got him signed, and I was like, I was looking him over. I'm like, dude, these are the wrong ones. And he's like, what? So he went back into line, and was like, dude, I'm sorry, my brother. These are the ones my brother wanted to sign. He's like, can you please sign? Jim Lee signed them for me. So, Jim Lee was really nice. Like, dude, honestly, I haven't met one creator. Even John Byrne. John Byrne, like, he wasn't nice or rude. He was just there. He was, and he signed it. He's like, here you go. I never met one dude that was like ill. But I never met Neil Adams or any of them guys that are notorious. Even Eric Larson was okay.
I think
so.
The one where I thought this was a funny one, which me and John Bull actually met Mike Turner when he was alive.
Nice.
And it was like I think it was just the year before he passed away. And he was doing a signing. And at this point, everybody knows, Mike Turner had cancer. Yeah. And you had these douchebags that came into the convention with stacks of comics for him to sign. Wow. But they were obviously storefronts, because it's the same issue, right? I'm like, come on, guys, this guy's like battling cancer, and he's showing up to this convention for fans. So I thought it was really funny what he did is he slid all the comics out, and he just signed Michael Turner across all of it, and then put it back in the file and gave it to him.
Nice.
Dude, I love stuff like
awesome.
that.
Yeah, I was like,
Chad Townsend has a great story of I can't remember who it was, but he met an artist to get signed and stuff, and there was a guy like giving them attitude. But if you ever are on a stream with Chad Townsend when he's promoting Black Phantom, if he comes on Morning Roast or whatever, ask him about his convention signing story because it's fantastic, dude. It's fun. But yeah, honestly, I've never met a bad even in doing this, like promoting streams and stuff, and all the pros that we meet, because they'll have us on. They're nothing but nice. Like, they want to help, they want to promote, they want to help you get your books out. In a way, you and I, we're competition, but at the same time, we're not. Like, we're in competition in the ways where we we're in the same field, and we were trying to beat each other out as far as like, wow, I'm going to do better than you. But we're at the same time, we're like, hey, man, I want you to do better too. So come on my channel. You're more like, hey, I'm going to come on Morning Roast. We'll promote. And you know what I mean? So we're in a competitive field, but we're still trying to help each other out. And it's probably the greatest thing. CG's fantastic.
The good thing about the CG thing, too, is you're also rooting for, like, you watch campaigns, like, okay, how's this campaign doing? How's this campaign doing? But you also see, like, okay, I had a couple of buddies that's launched their campaigns just this last week, but I want to see them, like, at least get to the funding goal. If they beat me by a landslide, that's fine. But you always want to see, like, your fellow, like, friends in the independent scene at least hit their fund goals. So, like, I'll try to do as much reshares, and I'll try to make little videos here and there of some of them, versus some of the bigger guys, because bigger guys, they don't really need it as much as like some of the littler guys, to have videos made of them and stuff. So I'm always looking out for new people to kind of help promote, and get the word out. Well, versus, like I say, nobody's after really cutthroat in the indie, at least in this side of the indie scene.
Right. It's not really.
At least see.
Right. It's not cutthroat. We want to see the books funded. We want to see you make your dream. You know what I mean? And dude, honestly, well, at least I want to see people, because you love doing this. Like, you want this to be your full-time gig. I want to see your campaigns get up to 6 figures. Yes, make it your job. You know what I mean? I want to see it. I want mine to be 6 figures too, though. You know what I mean? So yes, because I want to do this for a living, because we love this. This is a passion. And like who was I watching? Oh man, I wish I could remember. Oh, it was Jim Lee, dude. And yeah, he's already a pro. He's obviously a pro. But he was drawing I was watching a YouTube. It was an older Twitch stream maybe. But he was just drawing. He's like, man, I love drawing. I'm like, I love hearing that, man, because here's a dude that's been drawing for decades on end, and like you would think he'd be sick of it. He's like, yeah, whatever. But in the middle of his thing, he just blurts it out. He's like, oh, I love drawing. Like it was just
cool.
you could tell he meant it because it was just a spur of the moment thought, you know. And I love that. I love hearing that. I don't like hearing, yeah, this is my job. You know, I could maybe do whatever. I can go flip burgers, but I do this. It's like, nah, man, your heart's not in it. Then, like, you don't like love it the way like. And I'm sure like they enjoy it. You got to enjoy it to do it because this takes time. Even writing, dude, writing, forget about it. I don't know how about you, but I mean, I'm not a writer per se because I'm an artist. That's what I do. Yeah, I wrote Absolute, but I'm not a writer. It takes time. You're sitting there at a blank screen and a cursor, and then you're just sitting there. Maybe you know what I mean. You're just sitting there. It's like it takes time. Like as far as writing, how do you go about it? How do you tackle it? Is that like
And you know what? I love writing comics versus novels, just because like I don't have to put as much of the detail in.
right?
'Cause, you know, I went from like writing, you know, the chapter books and stuff, and I you know, have to like kind of retrain my brain a little bit because like I know I got to write it to where my artist gets it, you know.
Mhm.
Without, I'm pretty like simple when it comes to some of that though. Like I let my artist explore a little bit, you know, as long as
Nice.
it's in the guidelines of my story. I'm not one of those people like I need this panel. To
You're
be
not like
up
Alan
to
Moore.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need it to like every panel to say something that I want. Because to me, it's like a tattoo artist. You go to a tattoo artist, like I want a dragon, and the guy's like, all right. He's like, well, I want a dragon, and he's got like wizards shooting lightning at him. It's got to be from this angle.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I
kind
love
of like.
it.
Then you just start pissing off the artist, and then
Yep.
you want them to be as passionate about what they're doing. Even if some of you are like, you know, okay, maybe I didn't like this panel exactly, but as long as it's nothing, you know, too big, I don't really nitpick.
Right.
As long as my story, because I say I'm a storyteller, so as long as my story, I feel like it's getting told and it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
down for
it's.
it, you know.
Go ahead, Angel.
Does it concern you or does it bother you in some regard? Like, for instance, you mentioned writing novels versus obviously writing in the comic book format. Do you feel constrained in some regard regarding comic book format? Is that frustrating to you? Or, I mean, you mentioned being simple, but in some regards, you find it's sometimes like frustrating or difficult.
Oh no, I think writing comics for me is just easier because I already got the the story in my head. So like it's just
Oh, okay.
caption. This is what I'm going to have them say. This is what I want to happen in the panel. Next one, versus writing where like something I just came up with within like a page within 5 minutes will take me several days of a chapter.
That's true. That's a good
And
point.
you got to re-edit so much. And I was still always missing stuff. I even had, when it came to books, I would hire editors, and I'm thinking, all right, I'd still read through it, but your brain trains itself to read stuff, and I'd still get a
Oh,
final
that's cool.
copy of a book and be like, how did I fucking miss this? And I have to,
That's me
resubmit
writing
it.
work emails. Like, wait a second, that made more sense before I sent it. Now I'm reading again. I'm like, why did I say that? So, no, I
Yeah.
get
You
it.
know what? Trying to have a selling point for comics is so much fun compared to my experience, anyways. Novels. I mean, I had John Ball do the art for my chapter books, so they look cool. But trying to sell that at a convention is so hard
Yeah.
compared to a comic book. We can just kind of
Well,
hey, look. a
People like the
comic.
pretty pictures.
Look
Yeah.
at the- yeah.
Pretty
There's
pictures.
stuff. There's pictures.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
eye
Yeah.
candy.
And it is, and even the thing is, both medias or mediums are suffering. Between now, audiobooks are pretty big because people are always on the go, always moving. They have their phones with them. They don't have time to sit down and read, let alone a book, and also a comic book. Not only
I'm
that,
an old man or something. I still read.
hey man, if I had vision to do it, I would be reading it. I used to do it. I used to read an hour or two before bed. I'd lay in bed, I'd read my book, and then I'd get tired and I'd put it away, and so on and so forth. I've read a bunch of novels by doing that because I did that, because I just take a couple hours, because it's no different than now. When you're laying in bed, you're playing Doodle Jump or something. You know what I mean? You're on your phone a good 20 minutes or half hour before you go to bed. I always say Doodle Jump because it's a stupid game. But you know what I mean. It's reading has kind of gone sadly, on the wayside.
Well,
And
I
same
actually
with
use it
comics,
as
though.
I use it as a tool as well, though. I force myself to read
Expands
as
your
well
mind.
because I'm a
Yeah.
Yeah.
writer, and if I don't, I just feel like I gotta keep my brain in that writing and process.
Right.
I
Well,
can't,
and
as much as I'd love to sit around and play, Diablo 3 all
Turtle
day.
jumper?
I make sure,
Oh.
or Diablo 4, Diablo 4 now. Sorry.
Right. Well, and that's the same with me in comics. Like, I can't really read them anymore. I just can't. Like, I can, but it would take me 2 hours to read a 20-pager. So, but I still look at the pictures because I'm an artist. I still look at what people are doing, and be like, oh, wow, this guy used a dry brush here. It's pretty dope. I like what he did. Or, oh, this is complete digital. I could tell. But they're still using brushes and technique. It's not just AI. So, which I mean, that's a whole different topic. But yeah, so I mean, it's still good to actually do the thing that absorb the thing that you do. You know what I mean? Never stop learning, never stop reading, never stop looking at artwork, or doing that route. And like I said, with comics are going because of the video games in general. People are thinking movies. Yes, but no. Like, yeah, you got the comic movies out there, but they're all sucky. But people are now, like, video games are gigantic, man. So people will be like, look, I could buy a $60 video game and hours on end of gameplay, or I could buy a $12 comic, read it once, and that's it. Like, so, or let alone I have to read. Oh no. So I tried getting my nephews and them into comics and stuff. Like, not like hardcore. I was like, you should read this. It's really cool. And they'd be like, nah, that's trash. And they would just go play video games. I'm like, whatever, dude. I'm like,
Well,
you're missing out.
man, like it's you watch it now with I don't know when last time you've been around like kiddos, like tiny kids. My girlfriend's got 2 little ones, and just say we're going down the road, they're so used to like being able to like Bluetooth, like there's certain songs playing, skip to the next song. And like when they were really little, what's that? Cocomelon. It's just a quick images.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen the theory about
that.
Cocomelon.
Okay.
Is it Cocomelon? It's they have it to where every, I think, 5 to 7 seconds the image changes, because that's the brain's something to do with like the brain's triggering
Level
of
of
images.
Mhm.
So they stay more focused because they didn't want to miss anything. So I think it's every 7 seconds, Cocomelon makes sure that they're changing frames and stuff like that. That way,
Yeah.
it keeps the kids. But it's just I don't know. It's nuts to seeing how like not demanding. That's not the word I want to use, but at their hands, just to be able to change to whatever they want, what media they want. Games are getting that way too.
Yeah. Well, see, and like
TikTok. That's why I think TikTok's so big, because you just flip.
Yeah.
Next video.
I get the concept of like that Cocomelon thing, whatever it's called. I get the concept of it. You can pay attention to more things at one time or whatever. You absorb it right away or something. But at the same time, there's a disadvantage to not lingering on something and absorbing it fully and like intaking more content.
Patience. You lose what patience
you lose
is.
patience. You lose everything. That's why, dude. Like people get on Mahler for his like 3 hour, 5 hour like review streams. I love
7
Mahler.
hour.
I love Mahler, but people get on him because people are so used to the minute TikTok. That's why shorts are huge on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Like gigantic. Everybody loves shorts. Everybody loves the TikTok
true.
thing. Their attention span is just a little bit. That nobody wants. What I don't get is movies are now getting longer. So
It's true.
That's a good point too.
yeah, like the Barbie movie's 2.5 hours.
But I think they're getting longer because
Yeah.
they want to make them into multiple. Everybody wants the whole story now, so I
Yeah.
feel like they have to put like more into the movies to like satisfy that
I watched.
the story feel.
I watched the Elvis movie last night. I'm like, it was really good, but it took me forever to watch it. And after that, I think I watched like Airplane, or like hour and a half movie. You know what I mean? I'm like, I couldn't take it. I'm like, I had to take something shorter. I'm like, that's fun. I'm like, I'm so sick of 2.5 hour movies. Like in a way,
I'm excited to go see Meg. I want to see Meg too. That's
dude, I saw a preview for that. I'm like,
Ah.
okay, that looks good. I didn't see the first one,
the first
but
one?
I'm like,
Oh,
I like
love it.
Jason
I'm a
Statham.
sucker for those movies though. Like those kind of.
I'll watch
like,
it.
I
I'll watch
I
the
love
first
VA
one.
horror movies.
Deep Blue Sea. I watched it the other day. And I'm like, man, this movie's so cheesy. It's great.
Did you watch The
I
Shallows? The
never-
Shallows is really good.
I haven't seen the show.
Anything
Short
related to the ocean or related to like space, because like there's that element of not having control, and
Yeah.
it makes that just adds to my like anxiety. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
like,
but you don't like aliens.
I don't. That's part of that. Yeah.
You don't like
No.
aliens? Like
The
like
movies.
alien movies?
Okay,
Yeah.
can we just clarify
Oh man,
this? I like
are
actually.
you scared of them?
Jason
Or
and
just
Jason and actually Selby have both drawn aliens, and I've actually enjoyed their drawings of them. I appreciate their spookiness, but the movies themselves scared the shit out of me. Like, I
Oh.
had a cousin that made me go when I was 11 years old. She made me go see Aliens, and I was so mad at her. It was the
Well,
longest
Aliens is like that's
2
like
hours.
I consider that more like a monster flick.
It's a
I
monster.
mean, it is
Yeah.
Alien. It is
I
an
like
Alien.
monster flicks too. I just, for some reason, that whole
Oh
thing.
yeah.
They're in
Aliens-
the ceiling,
Creature,
and I'm
Alien-
like,
creature of Black Lagoon. That's my thing.
Yeah, Alien is a horror movie and a monster flick. Aliens is kind of an action sci-fi monster flick. Like, it's really
Oh,
not
I
as
love
much
Aliens.
horror in Aliens. Still, dude, I mean, I even like 3. Not everybody liked 3. I like 3. After that, I'm
Now,
out, though. Yeah.
I liked it a little bit more, or not a little bit more. I liked it when I was
Jolly Green.
younger
What's up,
because
Jolly Green?
I think that came out in like I think that was a '90s thing, right?
Yeah, it was the
Early
90s, yeah.
90s.
It was still 90s,
I
yeah.
was still a kiddo, so it had
Yeah.
like I think the scene where the dog got killed. Like,
Yeah.
I think it started hacking up the alien or something, or it started Buster's chest. Just to look
Wait,
at that dog's
which
face
one
was
is that?
bloody.
Wait, which one is? Oh, I didn't see that. Well, see, like,
Yeah.
that was actually because my cousin, she is actually huge. She's like, I want to say she's 20 years older than me, but anyway, she's a huge comic book fan. She's a huge sci-fi fan, and she was like, I remembered when the first Alien movie came out. She showed me the picture of the alien coming out of the chest, and I was like, never. So that was the whole thing of like, 10 years later or whatever, how long it was. I'm sitting in that seat next to her watching Aliens, and I'm like hating her the whole time. So anyway, but it was fine.
Now, what
And so
about like aliens, like Signs aliens, like more like the
The
great
movie
scale.
Signs.
Oh,
with
Signs! I actually love Signs. Like, actually, yeah, that I enjoyed. Yeah, I enjoyed that movie. That was
Those aliens
the whole
couldn't
movie
stand up
itself
to
was,
the
like,
Giger
completely-
ones.
Well, all you need is a water gun.
Totally.
Apparently, it's got their super soaker.
Yeah, just use a super soaker. You're good.
You're like,
But
no.
to actually to say that's funny, if you see Spaceballs, they make fun of that, the parody of that alien thing coming out of the chest. I
That's
watch that and I crack up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
yes,
I
love
know.
that.
I would like rewind it and rewatch it every time because I thought it was so funny. But like the horror element of it for some reason, I'm like, stop. So
Mm.
anyway.
You know what we
Yeah.
don't want to stop is Swarm. We don't want Swarm
Worm.
to stop. We want it to keep going and going and going.
Hey, Blackjack.
Yo, Blackjack, what's going on, man? Good to see you. We're gonna, if it's okay with you, Shane, we're gonna play the trailer. Is that all right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I like it. Who did it?
Bravo. I love that.
Who did the
made
trailer?
the trailer?
Yeah.
I did.
Nice, man. Good job. I really like it. I like the little comb things that you have back there and the
Yeah.
animations that you have popping up. It's nice. Oh, go away, YouTube notifications.
The things you can do with your cell phone these days.
You do that on your cell phone? Nice, man. Good
Yeah.
job. Hey, I use Premiere I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I can't do the phone ones. I don't know how people do the phone trailers. I did a couple on my iPad actually a couple years back, but yeah, nice job, dude. So give us the slight skinny on Swarm, dude.
Like I said before, this character, something I created back like 2003, revamped it into a action character, Joel, who is a orphan and gets adopted, but the adoption agency is not what you think it is. It's actually a organization that takes children and experiments on them with this new formula
Oh.
that they are using to test out on the children and sell on the black market. So the subject, say like in Swarm's instance, where like they use the bee DNA with human DNA and you get Swarm, if they like that, they can sell either the child or they can, sell the formula itself on the black market. So that's kind of the small side of the beginning
So-
of what Swarm is.
Nice. So experimentation, mutation,
Yeah,
child trafficking.
I grew
Oh,
up
goodness.
on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I always liked that formula of the cartoon every week. You always look forward to the villain, right? Like who's gonna be the villain this
Yeah.
week? It's kind of like
Yeah.
Power Rangers. You know, you always want to see who's the Power Ranger going to fight this week. A giant shark with I don't know, lobster hands.
Yeah.
That was the fun part, and I was like, how can I do that? And
Right.
I thought, all right, with this formula, it gives me the range to create all these different villains as Swarm, progresses. So in
How
Volume
many-
1, you get.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, keep going. No, keep going.
Oh yeah, in Swarm Volume 1, Armadillo is one of the villains that he'll face. He's a big yellow guy in the armor. He actually comes out of the armor too. You will see him outside of his armor, where you see more of his armadillo look. And then you'll have Night Wasp, who is a wasp, but she it's kind of funny. We talked about aliens earlier because she has these tentacles on her back that she will attach to their face, put the egg down their throats,
Yeah.
and they will become like zombies. They're part of the hive. Yeah, I know, right? Now, the reason I did these 3 different versions of them is because you have Swarm, who was a test subject, who turned his power into being a superhero. He's actually trying to, as the stories continue in Swarm, he's going to go after the organization and try to stop it. But Armadillo, he himself was military, and he's like one of the products of somebody who volunteered. He likes being what he is, right? It gave him power, so he saw the benefit of it. And then you have Night Wasp, who is neither. She's kind of like she was experimented on and thrown off to the side because they didn't like, the results, and she's the reject. So she's taking
Right.
vengeance. They did this to her. Look what you turned me into. So she's kind of like
Kind of
trying
like
to
an
think
anti-hero in a way. In a way,
Oh,
like
I
she's
would
not a
say,
hero,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
more of a vigilante.
She-
Like
somebody
you did
could
this to me.
sympathize a little bit for her. She's
Right.
not like it's not like she wanted to be cruel. The world
Right.
made her this way in a sense, because she was turned into a mutant. So I try to do 3 different layers of what.
Perspective, yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be Volume 1. Is now I don't go into like
Cool.
like huge detail on that because I didn't want to, in a 50-page comic, I didn't want to saturate the readers with
Right.
all that backstory.
Well, that answered
It's
one of
in
my
there,
questions.
but it's quick, shots about it. I want to make sure, kind of like when you pick up Spider-Man from Walmart back in the day. I like to be able to just look up, like, okay, there's some action shit going on. I'm going to pick this up, and then you feel that when you read it. You get the story, but you get the action without too much.
Right, so this is like it's an introductory book, but you also got a lot of action in there, a lot of story development.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
It gets you in there. It gets you want to know the characters even better to get you into book
Exactly.
2. Yeah.
Exactly.
So how many like books, issues, novels, or what have you are you thinking?
I mean, as I kind of want to make this like one of our
Full-on
King
series?
shows, like this ongoing series.
Nice.
Because we have Death that he's that Joe Ball's working on.
Yeah, that 4,000 book. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
it's 300
amazing.
pages, Volume 1.
Yeah, volume
And,
1, 300 pages. You're an insane man.
Yeah, but he has a
I was
whole
gonna say,
complete
yeah.
story, arc. But I wanted to come up with a character that we can continue with, as our
Right,
product.
something that won't be you can absorb like maybe a yearly basis rather than waiting like a few years for that giant thick mass.
Yeah. So
thing,
I think the way to do it with Swarm for me is I'll do several volumes that lead up to a story here to there, and then the next one kind of on. I mean, this one you get a end result. There's no like big cliffhangers in it. I tell the story.
So
of the
each story,
villains.
each book is kind of a self-contained story, but with an overarching theme, so to speak.
Exactly. Because I didn't want to leave like readers hanging with like a to be continued aspect. I grew up with Saturday morning cartoons. I like the fact of like I watch the episode, I get what the villain was trying to do, and then there's a resolution. You know?
Right.
Mhm.
Well,
So,
and that's
yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
comics were anyway in the beginning. They were usually single
Yeah.
story arcs, and you could still want to get the next one, but you could pick one up, read it. If you miss next month, fine. I mean, you still wanted it as a hoarder, but also they had like maybe 1 or 2 issue story arcs and stuff like that. So
Well, that another thing that's I've learned since entering the indie scene is I've backed several books. I have a whole box over there of them. I love a lot of them, but there's some I'm like I got two comics and then like the artists or not the artists but the creators are gone. They're not doing anything else. And I'm like I'm never going to get into the story.
right.
And I'm like I don't like that. For me personally as a creator, I'm like I'd rather at least if I'm going to have some hints of some continuation, that's fine. But like don't leave. I hate when like you leave like a main villain or something and it's like.
Right.
It's
Who's to
not-
say? Who's to say tomorrow? Like this is done. You put it out, and then like a month later, you like I'm gonna you get a publisher and producer like, hey, I really like the novel you did back then. We're gonna give you a deal. We want you to write a few novels, and then you're gone from the indie scene, from the comic book scene.
Mhm.
So at least
Yeah.
somebody be like, oh well, I at least have Swarm #1. It's a full contained issue. Fun times, great.
Yes.
Maybe he'll come back, maybe not, because he's working on novels right now. Whatever may have you. So yeah,
Yes.
dude, you're right. I got long boxes of CG books. I can't count how many of them the artists are just the creators are gone. Like I mean I don't know where they're at. I don't know if they're. I'm not saying they're dead. I'm just saying they're gone. They're not in the indie scene
Yeah.
anymore.
And it's
So-
not so some of them like I was like really looking forward to like books 3 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know life happens and stuff, and I'm not
Yeah,
blaming
what's up,
anybody,
Sucker
but just as a fan, you're kind of like, well,
Yeah, you want more. You want more, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. Well, and you got King Toad Comics, so I'm sure Ball will be like, "Hey, dude, let's get to it." So yeah, and vice versa. So you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
we'll go over
Who's the artist again? Who's the artist of this book?
I had several. Your main one, I hate trying to say his name. It's Dino Viana. I
Close
don't wanna
enough.
say it.
Works
It worked for
Um,
me. I mean, yeah, it sounds right.
Yeah, very cool dude. He actually did the lettering and
Ooh,
bubble work for me. I didn't actually hire him for that. He just did it with the pages, and I was like, cool. Like,
Nice.
He just saved me from like.
Thank you.
There you go.
dude, I hate
Uh,
lettering.
nice.
I hate lettering.
Yeah.
Oh.
Inkspots is kind of tackling it with Frog G, thankfully, because I don't like doing it. I mean, I'm okay at it, but he's doing a lot better job.
Yeah, so it was awesome that he did that. Now on the first, because there's 2 issues in this for volume 1. You got the issue that's going to have Armadillo, and then they're going to the second issue that has Night Wasp. The first issue, John Ball, I had him do overlays, so you have a lot of like his work
Wow.
in that
Oh,
in the
okay.
first issue
Cool.
because he
Nice.
wanted to do something in it. He's like, I didn't really want him to take on drawing because I'm like, well, you're working on a 300-page book. I'm not going to, delay any
Right.
work.
Right.
And I didn't want to do the whole comic because again, I didn't want to. What's the word? Because Dino, did all this work. I didn't want to like erase what he's done.
Right,
So
and
I'm
it
gonna
is good. Like those pages that I saw, really good.
Yeah.
Really good job.
So
yeah.
I feel it's like a good balance having Joe do layovers and like pretty much just detail
Right.
work on the first half with the
Oh, okay, yeah, that's not
Armadillo.
bad. Nice.
Um,
So
Who is Pooji? Oh, but just real quick, there was a Pooji something.
Oh yeah,
like
that's going to be a print that he
a,
did.
an
That comes with the
artist.
sketch cards. Yeah.
yeah,
The artist
if
is
Angela would
Pooji,
let me
or-
get to the tears.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding. No,
Feel
you have
bad.
questions to ask him,
I
Angela.
just saw that
And-
name and
and-
I was like, who is that? I've never seen that name before.
I can't say his name either.
No, and Angela, I'm kidding. You have questions to ask him. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, ma'am.
That was like I said, I did these little boxes that come with the sketch
Oh, hold on.
cards.
Hold on. Where are you?
You can be.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
came
that's
with these-
cool.
Yeah,
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so awesome.
the little sketch cards will come in there with stickers and that print that you're talking about. That you get it with the sketch cards.
Ah.
here.
Okay.
So that box comes
I
with
love
the
it.
sketch card tier only, or what?
Yeah, right now the only other way to get the boxes, because I just want to do something special with the sketch cards. I was like, you know what,
Yeah.
I'll get these boxes. And
That's
I kind of
pretty cool,
I
man.
wanted to
That's a
test out the
nice
box
box,
idea
yeah.
in case we ever do like figures.
Right.
Figured I might as well
Yeah.
start kind of
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I love that.
dipping my
art.
toe,
So
one would
nice.
say.
What?
into
Hey,
this kind
that's
of
smart
stuff.
to do, dude. That's smart to do.
Mhm.
Nice. I like it. I like it.
I want a Frog G figure, by the way, but that's another story for another time.
Look there. Hey, buy a Cyberfrog figure. There you go. You know what I
There
mean?
you go. Okay.
There
I
you
was
go.
so surprised that I
Like
got
me.
the Cyberfrog figure that came with like just I think issue 2. It
Oh,
just
yeah,
came
yeah,
with it. I was like, man, that's
Oh.
crazy. I didn't know I'd just get a figure. Like,
Yeah, he
I-
had those
I-
little-
everything's
Cool.
special.
Those little figures that he had, and then a Salamandroid and stuff like that. Dude, Ethan's a beast. Forget about
Hey,
it.
that's-
Like, I
that's
mean,
He's got like Hot
marketing
Wheel. He's got like a little
genius.
Hot
yeah,
Wheel
he's got
thing
dude. He's
coming
got
out.
these guys. You're getting a little like a mini micro machine or whatever. Hot Wheel. Yeah, that's so cool, dude.
He did say if you wanted 1/8 out of your character, he would do it. You just had to let him know.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a different thing. But
Yeah.
yeah. Everybody, yeah, check out Cyberfrog. Obviously, you know, I don't need to promote Cyberfrog. I mean, come on. I back it all the time. It's Cyberfrog. I love it, you know. And Frog G has nothing to do with Cyberfrog, everybody. Everybody
No,
knows
it does
I think.
not. It's its own
Uh,
entity.
You get a lot
All
of
right, well, we're not
reptilians in
talking
here.
about Cyberfrog or Frog G. We're going to go over the tiers here for Swarm, because we want people to back Swarm, everybody. We want it funded now in the
Swarm
next 10
time.
minutes. Next 10
10
minutes.
minutes. Yes.
You have 10 minutes, everybody. No, by the way, I'm dead broke. I think I got like $5 in my bank account, but I am backing this campaign.
You sound like
so-
me.
Dude, it's ridiculous
I
because
spent so much money on, like I say, getting everything where it is. Like,
yeah,
you ever try to explain that to people too? Like, you know, because people look at like, I'm not talking about like your audience as much like people that's in your life. You go to
Right.
work and they're like, so how's your comic doing? I'm like, you know, the callers are going. Like, they're still working on the callers. I'm like, it's a
They-
process,
you know
man.
what? Dude,
It's a process.
at least they ask you about it. Nobody at my work gives a crap what I do. They don't care that I'm
man.
doing comic books. They don't care. They don't find like the one person might be like, "Hey, how's the art going?" That'll be it. So yeah, which is fine. I keep work and real life and all this stuff separate. I'm just I don't
work in the
mix
middle of the night.
things.
We have nothing else to talk about besides.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Comics.
and our my job's pretty busy at times, but all right,
Okay,
let's go over
a
these
bunch of,
tiers.
Like, fellow nerds. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't work with
Yes,
I don't
yes.
work with nerds. The featured tier.
Yeah.
The featured tier is
Oh.
usually the one you want to pick up because it's usually the best bang for your buck. So what you got going on in the featured tier?
We have where it comes with all 3 of the covers: the Adam Miller, the Michael Yakutis, and the John Joseph Ball. Also comes with the Prince. And what else we got going on in there? Yeah, that's your main one, which I do have all the prints already
look at you.
made. Yep. So boom, that
Look at
one.
Oh, beautiful.
Ooh, look at
Oh,
you!
my goodness.
Got that one. Or I got this one.
Nice. Ooh,
You got we got Oddity.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I
frog.
like that.
and for the Ace fans, if anybody follows Ace or knows
Oh,
Ace,
of course, dude. Edwin.
had the team up. Yep.
That's great.
That's another.
He's
big
kind
guy.
of merging with us Toads here lately. So
Yeah, I got to pick up his new book, the White Leopard. I got to pick that up.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so
yeah,
dude,
so,
I'm so far behind that stuff. Nice. So you get it's kind of like the whole kit and caboodle almost. You know, of the main stuff, like the non art,
yes.
like the non drawn, hand drawn stuff or whatever you may have. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice. And then this one here.
That one is the Michael Yakutis cover, which is the one I have the proof of so far.
This one.
I do have the, yeah. I
Oh,
already
let's
got
see
the
yours
proof.
though. Yours is physical. Ooh.
Yeah, I got the what do you call it? The
Yeah.
soft cover.
Ooh, nice.
It's all
Okay.
soft.
Yeah, so
it
like the velvet. It's like
matted?
velvet. It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's velvet.
Yes. I kind of stole that
Okay.
from the Diaz brothers because I got the Lost Pages. I'm like, I like how this book feels.
Yeah, I think it's a
Stealing
satin.
it.
It's a satin overlay. I think a satin cover.
Ooh.
Yeah, something like
coat.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Nice.
Look at
Spare no
that satin.
expense. Spare no expense. Very nice.
But yeah,
sir.
so that's the Michael Yakutis cover. I got the which will be your next one, the Adam Miller cover. That one,
Oh, I like that.
yeah, he's actually
This
doing a trading card set here soon, and he's going to do a Swarm trading
Oh, that'd be
card. So that's
cool.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I like
in
that
his
cover.
sets when he comes with that. I do have the, like I said, I have the proof ordered for that. It's I don't know who do you use? I use Mix'em.
I
to
use
print
mix.
stuff.
I've used mix them.
Yeah, so I think like it comes like the 14th. So by the 14th, I'll
Nice.
throw up videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Adam Miller one.
There you go.
But you know how that goes. To get your proof, it takes a couple of weeks.
It takes a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you got the Joe Ball.
yeah. And I don't have the proof
Nice.
out for that yet because I was
This,
waiting.
this is it right here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
I
the John
love
Ball.
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he wanted to go with the like a retro, like 80s kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Hey, you got it. Looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it's
was
ball,
happy.
You know. Yeah, it's ball. You know what I mean? You it says it right there. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we
And
couldn't
then,
have we couldn't have a King Toad product without like a John
True.
Ball cover.
True.
I mean, what's the
Reminds
point
me
of having
of
as a
the
business
like
partner
on
if
a
I can't get a
pinball
cover
machine.
from him?
What does it remind you of,
Right.
Angela?
No, like if you went to a pinball machine, that's what you'd see. Like it was
Oh,
a pinball game.
Oh yeah, like on the back of it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what's this one? Oh, cover bundle.
That one comes with the Michael Yakutis and the Adam Miller with the
Oh,
also the
sweet.
3 prints.
That's cool. I love it.
And
Are
then
you
there's
thinking of
obviously-
Fund
I'm
My
sorry?
Comic in the future? Are you thinking of FMC in the future, or is this
Yeah. I say I didn't want to run it on Indiegogo and fund my comic at the same time. Like I don't know if my brain would be able to try to keep up on funding both at the same time.
That's
yeah,
a good point.
they're tackling a lot when they do that. So you
Yeah.
got the Matt Burke. I like Matt Burke, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, he does good stuff. He's got
Butch Cleaver.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
Do you actually read 1 and 2? I actually really like the story, but I don't want to ruin it in case people end up picking it up. But it's kind of I don't know how to explain it. Like I guess like a Spawn almost, a little bit of Spawn.
Yeah, it's
meets
kind of like
Ghost
a Spawn.
Rider.
Well, I
I
obviously
like his stuff.
I flipped through the art because it takes me too long to read them, dude. It takes me way too long to read them. I read Tropical Magics, Pedro's. It was 48 pages, and I had to read it in 2 days. I couldn't do it in one sitting, so it takes me too long. I'd be just doing nothing but reading books. I wouldn't be drawing. I wouldn't be doing anything, you know.
Right.
But I love Matt Burke's art. He does great work, and he's always improving every time I see him do something. So Burke's a good
he did.
dude, man.
He did an art piece for my Mothman. We did a trading card, and he did some sketches for it too. And you know, obviously, I had to get a hold of him for Swarm.
Oh yeah, and what comes with the sketch card tier?
The sketch card tier, it comes with let's see which one we got here. Swarm Volume 1, obviously. So you got your Volume 1, get your 3 prints I just showed. It comes with the Pooji Try. I don't say his name either. That's the exclusive print. That's the black and white one with Swarm. Joel sitting there reading the Ace. I don't know where. It's on there somewhere. You'll come across it.
Let's keep going. Just tell me.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, the dude reached out to me asking, "Hey, is there any work I can get?" And I said, "I'll see what I could do." And like I said, I had the Swarm box. I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just do an exclusive,
Thank you.
Thank you.
print run? So I hired him, and yeah, that's how this
Nice.
print
Yeah, I
came
like
about.
that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it comes in that nice shiny box. Yeah.
Yeah, box and then obviously your cards.
Nice. I like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, where are those cards? I want to see them cards that.
Well, the sketch
Yeah.
card, right?
Entertainment.
There's this is a Matt Burke one.
Yeah, Matt killed it, dude. Looks good.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Burke's good, dude. Burke's good. And then, which one is this one? You got another Burke
Yeah,
sketch
another
card.
sketch card. Yeah.
Uh,
And then this one's kind of the same thing. Got the John Ball sketch card. The only difference is the issue it comes with is the John
Yeah, I
Ball
was gonna
cover.
ask you what cover comes with the other sketch card bundles.
I think I have the Michael Yakutis.
Okay. Because I didn't know if they were able to pick, you know, which ones they can. Oh, I didn't know if I froze.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know if I figured that part out. Like, I know I got where like say you go to like check out and the add thing, we can add like a cover.
Oh, so you have add-ons. So if anybody wants the other covers, they could just add them on anyway.
Correct.
Okay. Well, there you go. You covered your bases.
That's 9 here.
Yo, what's going on, Tarks 9? I haven't seen Tarks 9 in a bit. I like seeing Tarks 9. What was this one? Did we go over this one?
You are now on the original artwork. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
original. Nice.
Yeah, that's the original print Michael Yakutis did of the Ace and Swarm. Like I said, he did the cover for me. He did the collab print as well with all the characters on it.
Nice.
And luckily I got some of his art. I almost didn't want to put the cover up. I kind of wanted to be selfish and just keep it myself.
I understand how that goes.
So, but you know how it is. It's kind of like those things, like it's for the greater good.
Right.
But
Well, the way
when
I
it's
look
the
at it,
first of the issue, you're like, oh, do I really want to let it go?
well, the way I
But,
look at it is if it doesn't sell, you get to keep it then.
Exactly.
You know? So yeah.
It'll be all mine.
Like we sold the Irene one, but if we don't sell the Plagal cover, we get to keep it. It's a really good cover.
Yeah.
Same with the Frog G original cover that I did. If anything, I'm going to send it to Frog if nobody gets it. So, so we get to keep these things, these amazing pieces, if nobody buys them. We win either which way. We get either money or the piece. And then this is the other cover, the original.
This is the original cover of the Michael Yakutis.
Nice. And these come with everything, right?
Yeah. Swarm Volume 1 of all three. Like, yeah,
Nice.
you get all three covers,
wow.
all the prints.
So cool.
Yeah, nice. That's always been my mentality with the cover tiers. Like, you're paying $400, $500, $700, sometimes
Throw
$1,000.
comics in there.
You should throw the comics in. Come on, don't just give them artwork. I mean, you're not just giving them art like it's original piece of art that actually you want to pick up anyway, because original art, it's been going up. People, you want to get original art. What do we have on this one here?
This is the John Joseph Ball.
Oh, the cover.
So you got the same deal. You get all three of the covers,
Nice.
all the prints, and obviously the piece. And it is a little bit much compared to the other ones, but it's hard for me to want to just let JB's
Not only-
go, especially
yeah,
on
I get
the
it.
original very first Swarm. I'm like, if it moves, it moves.
Right.
But
Yeah, and you get to keep it if it doesn't. And then you have
Yes.
sold out tiers down here.
yeah,
Yeah.
look, all yours.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, yours are all gone. Like, I should have had Jason do like 6.
I was gonna say,
No.
now I'm sad.
No, they were fun,
know
man.
about
I did
that.
them as shorts on my channel, so you could actually go back and check them out.
Yes.
I had a lot of
Yeah,
fun
it's
doing
a good
that.
set.
It's a fun character. Yeah, but hey, I'm flattered that people liked them, and
Yeah.
bought them out, and picked them up. And I don't
Well,
ever
you know,
refer.
You're
I don't-
probably my favorite piece that you did. As like I say, I think in the CG world, not to even just a flattery because I'm on your channel, but you're probably one of my favorite artists of the CG
Hmm.
group. I love
Yes,
the
man.
because I backed both covers of each of I don't know why I've said it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, with the girl, like she's like
Oh,
laying
yeah.
there.
Yep.
The pieces are coming off of her.
Yep.
Man, that cover. I don't know what it is.
Nice.
I mean, it's not even like a lot going on in it, but the imagery of it is just like.
Thanks, man. You flatter me, and I appreciate it, and I like it, and keep doing it.
Oh,
But
good.
but
Well, you know,
I never.
sometimes covers get busy and you get a lot of stuff going on, and then
Yeah.
sometimes just a single image can be enough to strike
Yeah, I mean, you gotta
a
know
memory
when
where you remember
you
it.
gotta know when to hold back. I mean, sometimes less can be striking and impactful, But sometimes, like, look at Ball's work. Like, you can just absorb it all. I mean, spend
Yeah.
hours looking at it. It's fun. So yeah, but I don't ever refresh the campaigns just because I don't know. I just don't. I don't. But please, everyone, go check out Swarm. This book looks great. I'm gonna back it once I get paid because my work things kind of snafu'd at my job with workman's comp and my pay. But I'm gonna be a backer for Swarm definitely. I love Shane's stuff. The Mothman book was fantastic. This book is gonna be great as well. You could bet your buck on it, and you have it all done, right? It's all done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of just printing how many I need once it's
Yeah.
fulfilled or whatever.
So there you go. You could back this knowing you're gonna get it. Like it won't be late. You're gonna get it. Like it's gonna be on time. Because
Running this
life
60
happens
days.
with everything. So, but this
Yeah,
one you're gonna
well,
get on time.
Yeah, I'm gonna run the 60 days and then go right into
Mhm.
fulfillment as it,
Yeah.
as I
And-
can.
What I like about this too is like you have the insurement that it's gonna be on time. And not only that, it's quality. You got great artwork. You get a great, fun story. You have a story arc that's fantastic. Relatable characters that you can
I-
get along.
About a year and a half, I think, is what
Nice.
I spent on it.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Time
need
and money.
Eugene did the coloring. I
Oh,
always
nice.
forget to shout out to like the colors and stuff. You always feel kind of bad when
Yes.
you forget.
It's just the colorist. What do they
Oh,
do?
well, you know what? Sim actually saved me a little bit too because he did some
It's a
coloring
joke.
on it as well.
Oh yeah, Sim.
So
Sim's great.
Sim, he's actually getting really good at coloring. Like, I was kind of worried at first, like having it blend, like will it merge together? Because Eugene was getting swamped, and like I say, I'm one of those people like I get, I'm very motivated to get things done, and I got.
Right.
I want things to go a certain way. Things come up, but I'm like I have a deadline for myself. It needs to be met.
Yep.
So I got to put like things aside, like, you know what, hey, if you can't get this finished at this point, I got to get somebody else to do it.
Right.
And no feelings were hurt or anything. Like Eugene understood, because he's been working on Lost Pages 3 and a couple other books. So he was getting swamped with work. So luckily, Sim was able to step in and do some coloring for me.
Nice.
And kind of take the workload off of Eugene. So it was kind of cool. I was like, hey, I get I actually have Sim involved in it, because the only thing I had him involved in my last one was a sketch card. So to actually get him to do some coloring was
That's pretty cool.
So I don't know. It's also, you almost feel like, I don't know how you feel, but when you make these, when you get a list of the colorists, the artists, and all that, it's almost like you got your own collection of the creators yourself. Like, I got them to do this. I got a Sim piece of my own.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, man. I know how you feel. Yeah, because like going back with like you like kind of collecting artists like and writers and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I had Irene, I got Frege, I got Plagle, I got Hockey, I got Luke Elliott, like I got Matt Barr, Matt Yaki, like you're kind of like I got these people. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
I'm always too afraid to reach out to those people, man, because like I feel like I'm still like so. I mean, Joe's got a reputation. He's been a CG. He's doing great. I always feel like if I reach out, I'm like, hey, Mr. Ethan Vance,
excuse me. Yeah. Well,
gee whiz, sir, I've been a fan and everything.
I mean, worst case scenario, you either get no reply or a no. Oh no, you know what I mean. So
I know
it doesn't hurt.
By everybody too. So I'm like, I'll buy my time. I try to work my way up. If I get noticed by some of the bigger names.
Well, I've always said this too. They're artists. They want money. So if you like obviously this is an extreme scenario, but you're like, hey, I'll give you $10,000 to work on a cover. They're gonna stop what they're doing and they're gonna work on your cover. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna say yes because money talks, man. So and honestly, we do pay. Like you could ask Barr and all of them. I pay what they quote. I sometimes pay a little more if you finish early or if it's better than what I think I wanted. I'll pay more.
Oh, yeah. I did that with
because
my main artist. I usually do like the bonus things. Now through him, I actually met him through Upwork. He wasn't like a CG guy, because it's so hard for me to find certain artists. I'm like, I'll browse and. I set my contract with him, but like I say, I usually set the milestones. If they meet the milestone, then I throw bonuses out there because,
what's up, Dean?
if you're working hard to give me a product, why not?
Money is pretty cool.
Money
is pretty cool. Yeah.
Money is pretty cool. And you know what else is really cool? Packing Swarm today, right now. Get it funded before this stream ends because we're coming up on the closing out part of it. So everybody, link is in the top of the chat, pinned. It's also in the description below. If you're watching on Facebook, please check it out, share it out. I appreciate you watching and getting to know Shane here. And Angela, do you have any last questions for Shane? Does the chat have any last questions for Shane?
I don't have any. Some person came in the last minute.
What's up, some person?
Thanks for this, for sharing the link out on this campaign.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else, but I really do enjoy this the look of this book, and I'd like to back it myself. Probably not this time. This week.
Well, you're going. Yeah, and are you going in demand that way in case our pockets are light? We get back in demand.
Oh yeah. If I meet my funding, it'll sit in demand while I'm fulfilling.
Fulfilling.
Yeah. Like Jason, I have a long list of books. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to pick.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I forget each one almost.
Really great.
Have you ever had to try to? Again, this goes back to just people outside of what we do here. Have you ever tried to explain Indiegogo to people? It's so hard.
Dude, I got a guy that does my business taxes, and he still doesn't understand what it is. He can't pronounce it. He's like Indiegogo. I'm like, no, man.
Again, IGG. That's all you need. You don't need to spell it out for people.
Yeah, but trying to explain the crowdfunding thing and stuff, some people don't understand. The best way to do it is say it's like a pre-order system.
Yeah,
I mean, they can kind of get behind that, But Shane, do you have any last words before my last question?
I guess if I can do anything, check out King Toad Inc. The
website.
Website.
It's in the description below.
Yep. Yeah, because we do have some the Ace. Like if you missed out on Ace 2 by Edward, that's on there.
Nice.
along with Mothman and some of my
Oh,
chapter
okay.
books, stuff like that. So we
That
actually
was
have
my
like
question.
yeah.
No,
What's
I'd
your
like to get Mothman. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Oh.
Ohio lore, so or Northern
Nice.
Kentucky, Ohio lore. But yeah.
Yeah, links,
Yeah.
links in the description below. And if before we leave, if you could work with any artist or creator, living or dead, who would it be?
Kevin Eastman, just because,
Ooh.
like I say,
Oh,
Like
that's
that.
a new
I
one.
grew up with turtles, and I actually met Kevin Eastman. He was like really, really fucking cool. Like probably the coolest
Aw.
dude. He came to Gym City a few years back,
Nice.
and it didn't cost anything. He let you. The funny thing is, he was just letting anybody come up and sign stuff, but he didn't have a limit. They actually had to start telling him, hey, one, you got to start moving the line along and try to limit to at least like 3 things, because people's like dropping like 6 turtle things in front of him. But he was willing. I mean, he would talk to everybody. He was signing everything. He didn't charge. Not that I have against anybody who's charging, because they're there to make money, which is
Right.
cool. And like one of your heroes growing up, because you meet people and sometimes you're like, oh man, I don't want this to be bad, because this is my childhood. I'm hoping this person's not like an ass.
Yep.
Or just
You
having
take
a bad
that
day.
risk
Yeah.
every time. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really weird. I'll go from that's one of my best experiences to one of my worst experiences. Kind of go back to our first subject.
Mhm.
A person I met that I didn't expect to be an asshole to me was Pauly Shore, out of all people.
Pauly Shore's cool, dude.
Way.
Yeah.
He was an ass.
Oh, he was.
CG
Oh,
famous
man.
too. He
What'd you
was
say?
UCG famous. I think it was Fowler. There's like a video going around where he video bombed. They were
Yeah,
live
he
streaming
video
at
bombed
a
it, yeah, yeah.
convention. And
Yeah.
he comes in and and I guess the Tampa, he was supposed to be at the Tampa Con and he wasn't there. So
I saw him stand up live. He was funny, but that
I met
sucks,
him-
man. But who was
yeah.
your good experience then?
yeah, that is a bummer.
Oh, Kevin. Like I said, Kevin Eastman is probably.
Oh, Kevin
the
Eastman
best.
was the good one.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, please go back Swarm. Fantastic looking book. Shane's got his heart in this. You know he loves what he's doing, and make this his dream. Thank you once again for everybody. Make sure. Oh, go back, Frog G. Thank you for make sure you hit that
What's
like
Frog
and
G up to
subscribe
now?
button.
Sorry.
You mean monetarily or like timeline wise?
Oh, just funding.
A progress report?
I was it went in demand.
Yeah, it's in demand. Ink is slowly working on the callers. His business is insane right now. He's working like 17-hour days, something like that, like 7 days a week, all around the clock. So coloring is still coloring, but it's just not as fast as what he wants. He's going to take a week off and get like several pages done, and we should be on time. And if not, I've always told everybody, I will make it up. I will put like a little bonus goody in there or something like that people didn't expect. So we should be on time, but life happens, man. I mean, for Pete's sake,
Yeah.
Ink almost died. Like, he broke his neck. So,
What?
oh yeah, dude, it's a crazy story. But yeah, so life happens, and even though
Yeah.
with our best intentions, and even as far as along as we get, it sometimes there's a wrench in it. So that's why it's
Yeah.
good. Like Shane's book, completely done. He's going to get it printed and get it to you, so you get back ensuring and knowing that you're going to get it on time. Frog G should be on time, and it might be a couple months late at the worst case scenario, and everyone knows I don't even like being a week late. So,
Okay, that's
but yeah,
weird.
it's rolling along,
Wait,
dude.
let me tell you.
Line art is all done. I finished the line art, so
Yeah, he was very good. Jason did his best to get that all done before his surgery.
yeah,
so.
surgery there, yeah.
Well,
But
People, things come up. I mean, like I say, like I know, like the CG community will get attacked here and there. Okay, there's some stuff that's like a little far late, but you just never know when stuff's coming up. I like to say, I was towards the end of this. I didn't have the first proof finished yet, and I think I was about 10 pages away from the book being finished, and my dad passed away. So I
Yep.
didn't get
there you go.
have it finished, and I had a funeral. Luckily, Joe helped out with that and stepped in and helped with some funding and stuff.
Right.
You just never know
You
when something's
never
gonna
know, dude.
Yeah.
And
what's gonna
like
hit.
like you said, CG gets hit with like people mocking. Oh, you're never on time. It's like, for one,
We're indies.
we're indies, but also we're working 40 to 60 hours a week at a full-time regular job.
Yeah.
And then we're on top of that, we're up like working 40 hours a week late at night on the comics. Like, and on top of all that, trying to spend time with family, because I don't care what anyone says. Family's the most important thing. So we don't want to totally neglect that. So it's the constant juggle there, and not only on top of that, life happens. You know what happens if like my arm? I had shoulder surgery on my left arm. I'm a left-handed artist. I couldn't draw for a while. Like what happened? Like
Draw with
stuff
your mouth.
happened. Yeah, exactly, dude. Like life happens. Like these things happen. So people can harp on people for being late.
Yeah.
Look at what happened to Frege, dude. Forget about it. That man had nothing but tragedy for like 2 years. So, so it was like life happens. I don't get your best intentions could be. You could have your book completely done, and the printers could blow up. You don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Well, I'm
things
glad.
happen.
Like, always make sure people, if you're going to do this, make sure you get a proof copy first before you make a big
Always
order
get
out.
always
Yeah.
get a proof copy.
Because I got my proof copy of Swarm, which I gave the other copy to JB.
Right.
Because like this part here, they had like just a big white stripe down it. I don't know
Oh,
what
no.
it was, and it was like inside as
Oh,
well.
wow.
So if I would have ordered like 200 copies of it, that would have sucked.
Yep, that would have sucked.
So-
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, life happens to everybody. But Swarm, I mean, even it's going in demand. What's your estimated fulfillment time? Do you
October.
know?
I think
October.
I remember my 60 days, and then like say once the 60 days hits, and I'm allowed to like start going into fulfillment where
Right. Okay.
because I don't want to send books out and people are like I got my book and I'm going to refund. I don't want
Right.
that
So,
scenario.
like I said, short
But-
of the printers blowing up,
Yeah,
this
it
will
will
be
be.
fulfilled. It'll be even starting to fulfill in October. So you can
Yes.
back this knowing that you're going to get it on time and it's done. So great stuff. So everybody, back it.
Yeah.
Link is pinned to the top of the chat and in the description below. Go follow Shane on social media. His Twitter's down there as well. Follow Angela too. She shares out books and stuff like that. So thank you once again for watching, everybody. And on the replay, appreciate that. I gotta say all these fun things everybody loves, but no, I do appreciate the people watching though. That I do actually appreciate.
Yeah.
And everyone, have a great day. Later.
Yay.
Long day,